Hi everybody, welcome to science class. Today we are going to see chapter 4, materials, metals and non-metals. We are going to talk about metallic materials and non-metallic materials. We have already studied about metals and non-metals, the physical properties we have seen. Today we are going to recall the properties, physical properties about which you have studied in the previous year. Okay? That is, we have talked about luster, we have talked about hardness, we have talked about solubility. Here, hardness and luster, they are considered as physical properties. We are going to see few more physical properties of metals and non-metals, and even we are going to talk about the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Let's start with the physical properties of metals. Right? You might have seen blacksmith. Who's blacksmith? जो लोहे का काम करते हैं, लोहे के आर्टिकल्स बनाते हैं, उसको ब्लैकस्मिथ कहा जाता है, लोहार जिसको कहते हैं. He beats the hot iron pieces and makes different type of articles of iron like a spade, a shovel and axe. ये तीनों चीज़ें कहाँ पे यूज़ होते हैं? ये यूज़ होता है खेती बाड़ी में. The farmers use this spade, shovel and axe. We can beat metals and get sheets out of it. You might have seen the silver foil which is being used on the sweets, different types of sweets for decorating them, and aluminium foil, that is the cling wraps, aluminium foil which is used for wrapping food. So the property of metals by which they can be beaten into thin sheets is called malleability. What is malleability? Malleability is that characteristic of a metal where metal can be beaten into sheets. You can make sheets out of metal rods or metals by beating it harder. Right? That property is considered as malleability. Then we can talk about the conductivity, electrical conductivity of materials. Metals are good conductor of electricity. And the best example is you prepare a circuit and you know that circuit is made up of wire and a cell as well as a small bulb, that is a device which throws light or which works on electricity, and a cell which is a source of electricity. Now if you connect the positive and negative terminal with a wire which is made up of metal, okay, but covered with a insulator, plastic insulator, and you can see that it is also connected between the source and the device. One nail is being put, and if you connect the circuit with a nail, then you can see the bulb glows. But if I remove this nail and put a plastic scale, then what will you find? You will find that the bulb will not glow. So the nail, when it is connected, it shows that it conducts electricity. It allows electric current to flow through it. So it's a good conductor of electricity. Okay, so metals are good conductor of electricity. They are not only good conductor of electricity, they are good conductor of heat also. It conducts, it allows heat to pass through it, and this you can feel it if you try to hold a hot vessel or a vessel which is metallic vessel which is kept on gas stove. You can feel the heat when you touch it. Why? Because The heat is transformed from the glass door to the metallic body because metallic object is good conductor of electricity. Now heat. Now the next property is ductility. The property of metal by which it can be drawn into wires is called ductility. You can draw wires from metal. Thin wires could be drawn out from a metal block, like the goldsmith gets thin gold wire. Same way iron wires can be extracted from iron blocks, and aluminium wires also can be extracted, and that property of metal is called ductility. Metals are sonorous. What is sonorous? You can hear when the metals strike with each other, it produces sound, ringing sound, and that is called sonorous. The materials other than metals are not sonorous. Can you hear a pleasant sound when I am striking the non-metallic object? No. But if this falls, or if I just shake it, you can hear the sonorous sound produced by the metallic object. So in short or in total, you can see the properties of metal or the metallic materials. They are hard, lustrous, that is, they have a shining appearance. Then they are malleable. Sheets can be obtained from metal. Ductile wires can be obtained from metal blocks. Sonorous sound, pleasant sound can be produced, and they are good conductors of heat and electricity. The materials which generally possess these properties are called metals. So metallic materials possess this kind of properties. There are certain materials which are exceptional in one or two properties. If we talk about when we talk about sodium and potassium, they are metal, but they are soft and they can be cut with a knife. So here these are the two exceptional metals. They do not have hardness, they are soft. And when we talk about mercury is the only metal which can be found in liquid state at room temperature. So these are exceptions. Otherwise metals are hard. Almost all the metals are hard, lustrous, malleable, ductile, sonorous, and good conductors of heat and electricity. But the materials which do not possess these properties, they are considered to be non-metals. Like coal, sulfur, they are soft and dull. They break down into a powdery mass on tapping with a hammer. Non-metals, they easily break. They are not sonorous, they don't produce sound. They are poor conductor of heat and electricity. And these materials are called non-metals. Okay? And the examples of non-metals, few I can give you, is given in the textbook. Sulfur, carbon, oxygen, phosphorus, etc. Now we are going to see the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. First we will see the reaction with oxygen. How do metals react with oxygen? What do they produce? See, when metal reacts with oxygen, you get metallic oxides. And here you can see the two equations, iron Fe plus oxygen O2 with water, that is moisture, it gives you iron oxide. If we leave water aside, we can talk about iron plus oxygen gives you iron oxide. And that iron oxide, when it is dissolved, rust is dissolved in water, you get iron hydroxides. Same way, magnesium plus oxygen gives you magnesium oxide. Okay? And if you take the magnesium oxide powder, that is when magnesium ribbon is burned in the presence of oxygen, you get ash of magnesium oxide, magnesium ribbon, and that when it is dissolved in water, the solution which you get, it will be basic in nature. So hydroxides of metallic oxides are basic in nature. It will turn red litmus paper blue. These things practically I'll show you later on. Okay, I'll prepare a separate video to show you how the hydroxides of metallic oxides show basic nature.